Oh, peace, audience. This is Adam Zerard, LA Ghetto Time News. Notes for the mind, love, peace, and goddamn hair grease. Today, man, I want to go through the Baal story and also talk about the Neolithic Revolution, dealing with the NATUFIANS around this 12,000 BCE mark, and basically want to show you the correlations between the Baal cycle and this Levant revolution that happened. And so what brought me to this point basically is that I was just reading the Baal cycle and I'm tripping on the story of how the brothers were warring with each other. Baal basically annihilates his brethren, and he is, basically proclaimed God. So when I'm reading the story, which is from the Ugaritic text and the Phoenician text, and one story got El, which is the father who had the sons. Then you got the other story, which the Baal cycle, right? And so they kind of match up, but big portions are missing out of each one of them, you know what I'm saying? But putting them together, you get a full understanding right there, you know what I'm saying? And so what I'm going to do is proclaim to you guys out there today that Baal's brothers, one of his brothers was Yahweh. Yes, Yahweh of the Bible. I mean, I took it as, because I know we're dealing with translations right now, but we still know that Yah, which would have been an H, and then the A added on later on, no matter however you're looking at it, right? If we're dealing with Baal, Yam, and then the other brothers, we're going to get in the story in a minute. When you say Yam, which is one of his brothers, you take the M off, that's Yah. So I'm like, and so I'm tripping on Genesis in the Bible where Yah is with the Elohim. When you look at the Baal cycle, these people form what you would call humanity, similarities. And so another point to make is that we have to understand that this wasn't a heavenly story. Like, these wasn't angels in heaven sitting on chairs, building houses, killing each other, killing brothers, El ordaining wars to happen and things like that. We have to understand that this was on a physical plane, man. This was on earth. This was an event that happened on earth. And so when we look at the Baal cycle, we're going to see a story about, let's say, three gods. One is a water god, one is a god of death, the underworld god, and the other god is what you would call Baal, fire god, or sun god, or god of heat, right? And so when I'm looking at stuff like that, and then we go into, let's just say, when we go into, for instance, Homo sapien Neanderthal wars, we see through the archaeological evidence that they were fighting over natural resources. So since the beginning of time, man has always fought over natural resources. See, this Baal story is very important because it's going to tell the tale of how hunters warred with sheep herders. And when you see the Torah, you see that these people are sheep herders. But let's just think about how long sheep herders been around, right? So you got sheep herders. You need to stay by streams and rivers and things like that. to maintain your herds, right? As opposed to a hunter, you can live off the grid. See, these people were the same people. Both of these people were melanated people. But just because they was cousins don't mean that they shared the same views. I'm show you today through the Baal cycle that Yahweh and this tradition that's found in the Torah predates Abraham by using Yam as Yah and showing you the war that happened and backing this up by archaeological evidence of Natufians really warring with each other. So these are the things that we're going to explain today right here. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. So now, here's a map of what you would call the Neolithic period, right? And so as we can see, because I want to get all the misnomers out of there. So when we going further into this, don't sit here and try to prove to me that this amalgamation of these surrounding races of people included some goddamn other type people. Because we can see the climate, it was hot. So this brings me to something like when we dealing with Sumer, for instance, right? You see them silhouettes. You see them pictures of some big nose, pale skinned, no shirt having on, dresses on, no shoes on, toes showing and all that stuff. But see, we got a problem with that right there. Because the climate is hot. You trying to convince me that these people were some goddamn Europoid type people, but the climate doesn't match with these people. That's like, and so my personal opinion on that is that we call these people vassal kingdoms. Vassal kingdom mean that you took over the land, but you still letting the people operate how they operate. My second theory is that that we had them slaves making their ass mine and work. And so when we look at these silhouettes and all of this stuff right here, my question is, again, where's the black statues? Where's the black faces? Where's the black silhouettes? We know the Sangekas was right there. We know the Hindus of India, they were, see, you have to understand, from the Levant all the way down to India, this was Mongolian and Hindu Turk. See, here go another misnomer. They want you to think that Southeast Asians, Mongolians, and Hindus never lived in Europe. See, them out of Africa theorists, they don't even understand that you're following the Adam and Eve story too. Neuroscience tries to make it seem like leave the God concept. Oh, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. The out of Africa theory, the Euro science uses apostolic first century church fathers commentary on Adam and Eve being the first people on earth, because the Bible don't say that they was the first people on earth. It don't say that. Genesis 1:26 and 1:27 say male and female. See, everybody is following these commentaries from these church fathers. Everybody running, even including the out of Africa theory. The out of Africa theorists, they running with it too. So where's the, everywhere you go, bro, you go to Turkey, you go to Central Asia, you go to Mesopotamia, you go to the Levant, you don't find no silhouettes, no evidence of any blacks around. That don't sound weird to y'all? That don't sound crazy to y'all? I know why. Because they don't want you to see the artifacts, because they're pushing an agenda. I mean, you know their agenda, that they were here, they got the blessings from God, just like all the other races of the world, right? This is what they pushing right here, man. So we got to take things into perspective when we looking at stuff like this, because again, you can't get away from this map. You can't get away from how hot it was right there in them places, bro. If they catch skin cancer right now, you damn sure know they was catching skin cancer back then. And guess what? When we dig up the bones, that's another mystery. Where is the Mesopotamian bones at? They go from Neanderthal, and then all of a sudden we get a pause in archaeology, and then it picks back up around, and then they get the skeletons from 6,000 or 5 or 4,000 BCE. Nigga, what are damn skeletons and all that shit, nigga, from 10,012, nigga? See, that's what I'm telling y'all, bro. Bro, we can't get hoodwinked on this shit, man. So I just had to establish that nigga, this is a high climate, nigga, and we dealing with cousins. See, my theory is God made all type of humans at the same time. My shit sound better than yours. Now watch this. Now, 12,000-year-old shaman burial from southern Levant. The Natufians of the southern Levant, 15,000 to 11,000 BP, underwent pronounced socio-economic changes associated with the onset of sedativism and the shift from foraging to farming lifestyles. Excavations at the 12,000-year-old Natufian cave site in Israel have revealed a grave that provides a rare opportunity to invest the ideological shift that must have accompanied these social economic changes. Right? The graves was constructed and specifically arranged for a elderly and disabled woman who was accompanied by exceptional grave offerings. Is small, y'all gotta forgive me. The grave goods comprise 50 complete tortoise shells, and selected body parts of wild boar, an eagle, a cow, a leopard, as well as a complete human foot. I ain't gonna even try to go there with that shit. They trying to we saved that for something else. But we can show that some cannibalism was going on back then. But here we go. Shaman burial in the Levant. His grave, they grave pit, got eagles and leopards and all of that shit up in there. See, it tells you social economic change happened. You had some people living good, and then some people just start coming down, fucking up everything, my nigga. These are the heathens. These are the Baal worshippers. When we see this period, right? I happen to think that the Neanderthals are still alive today. Them Southeast Asians, Australians, the Papua New Guineans and all of that stuff. Fuck the DNA, right? The skulls, they have the same features as a Neanderthal. Doesn't take a rocket scientist, man, to see this shit, man. Slope back foreheads, that's a Neanderthal trait, man. You can't get past it, bro. Tall forehead at the top, that's African. That's just how it is. So when we're looking at this 12,000 to 9,000 period, we see in the Middle East, right? We see cattle, barley, wheat. 9,000, we see goat and sheep. So we're dealing with a shift And we're going to get into that right there. So I want to give you some notes, man, and give you some factual information where you can go check all this stuff out later on. But basically, I want to bring out some names of some cultures and show you these cultures come from before the Ice Age. See, we got to find out the cultures before the Ice Age, and the science tries to tell you that they died off in like some type of way. A new race of man came out of nowhere. Nah, that's not true. We had the cultures before the Ice Age that survived the Ice Age, and thrived after the Ice Age. Again, we're dealing with two groups of people. See, I happen to believe that in my theory, I also happen to believe within my theory that there were other sets of black races on earth when God created humanity. See, that Europoid type man, that Alpine, the robust man, when we the Grimaldi man, when we looking at these 25,000-year-old skeletal remains of these people and all of that stuff. See, I don't believe in all Africa theory. I believe them motherfuckers ain't never came out. Well, I can't just say they ain't never came out, but I'm talking about big ass droves, nigga, hundreds of millions of them, just like, oh, 1, 2 went over there and they like, yeah, come over here, the weather is great. Like, nah, that shit ain't happening like that. See, the neuroscience wants you to believe that all the black man comes from here, nowhere else, man. Let's hide the bones, let's hide the artifacts, let's hide the statues, and the only black figurines that we want you to see, it has to contain the continent of Africa. No, we can't have you see all these other artifacts that will make you say, well, damn, like, how long we was right here? This is this goddamn subconscious thing going on right here, man. So we dealing with the Mousterian era. MOUSTERIAN, right? And so they call it the culture. This culture was developed by Neanderthals. So there's a culture called the Imran culture that was around 50,000 BCE. So let me just read it. Imran culture, Upper Paleolithic in the Levant, wasn't kin to the Homo sapiens because these people were part of the Mousterian civilization. Not kin to the Homo sapiens around 50,000 BC, before the Aurignacian culture, right? Now, that culture right there, you can trace them back to Homo sapiens. So these two cultures came from before the Ice Age and made it past the Ice Age. Two different groups of people. So these Imran people would be Neanderthals. Neanderthals are Asians. The Aurignacian, they took over and they implemented the woman deity. So when you see these people, when you see the Venus worship in Spain and all of these stuff, this is from this culture right here. So we got Asians were the Imran before the Ice Age, who became the Kiberian culture. And how do we know this? We can see the tools, right? We can see the tools. We can see the pits, graves, fetal position graves. There's a plethora of things that we can identify, and we just dealing with the science because I'm using your science on you, right? So we can see in that science, that archaeological evidence in pottery and stoves and all of that stuff, that this shit running concurrent, right? Okay. Who became the Kiberian culture, who invented domestication of dogs and sheep, who became the Natufians. I'm just giving you a rundown. back this up, pause it, get the names down, and do the information for yourself, and you'll see that, hey, this guy know what he's talking about, right? So this shows two different groups of people: diet, burials, and gods. Weapons being made, and most importantly, these two groups were dark-skinned. Let's keep that real right there. So we got the transitional hypothesis. This transitional hypothesis developed by Eurocentric thought, right? And this was to hide certain things. I mean, this is an article that you can read, the transitional hypothesis, which they use layered strata to disprove or hide sites that don't show transitions that overlap each other. Now, when you're talking about overlapping, that means every strata you go to, you see the same thing. And archaeology, they're hiding this fact right here because they want to make it clear that another race over that strata, another race came in. But they got stratas out there where you see no breakage. It's overlapping. The same people. I'm telling y'all, man, they don't want you to believe the real Genesis 1:27 where it says male and female. They don't want you to believe this stuff, bro. They want you to be like, nigga, claim Africa and that's it, bro. They ain't got no explanation for the goddamn Australians, man, and the Papua New Guinea. They ain't got no answer for that, man. They try to make that Homo sapien connection, bro. The goddamn timelines don't even match, bro. Nigga, you coming over there with modern skulls, like modern man. You go to Australia and you make a cave looking man. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Okay, so to prove the Monstrayan, forgive me if I'm butchering these names, the Monstrayan tool culture, where the Asians living in Europe, and you had the irrigation culture that was living in the Levant. There go your two different races of people, right? That's two right there. And then we say them Asians, we know we talking about the Europoid, the Alpine, the Mediterranean type, the Caspian type. Bro, it was different, all type of different colors. I mean, all different type of looks of blacks that was on Earth, bro. Like, who invented the bone in their nose first? The Hindus or the white man? Like which one? Who had the bone first? Marx Planck Institute just came out with a article. I think it was last year. They came out with an article retracting the statement where they claimed that the Homo sapiens had bones in their noses. Now they retracted that. Now they're saying that they had wide noses, flat wide noses. Man, is that a trait that the white man got from the Neanderthal man? A flat wide nose? That sounds like Southeast Asians. Come on, man. Like, this is garbage, man. This is bullshit, my nigga. So I think I want to continue these notes, and then we'll just make this a two-part video right here. So recapping. So in the Levant, you got the it's called the Levanto period, and that's where you have the Origination culture. I'm butchering that name. Venus worship, Horus art, drawing up north. This culture was from 40 to 24,000 BCE, which became the Halfin culture. And this was a migration migration out of Africa around 24 to 17,000. So the Origination and the Halfin culture are the same people, And then we got the Eram, which is the Monstrayan culture, which turned into the Kabarian culture, because these Kabarians, Kabarian, these people were the ones that was living in the Levant before the Halfa culture came down. We dealing with that Halfa culture. We dealing with that Fertile Crescent, Global Tepe, you know, sacrifices, shamans, and all of this shit. I'm showing you, man, these people were heathen. I don't care what nobody say, my nigga. These motherfuckers are heathens, bro. When you have too many gods, when you got too much going on in your life, man, you're a confused race, my nigga. That ain't how you supposed to live. You don't look at a tree and just start venerating that motherfucker. I like flowers and shit, but I'm not finna start worshiping no flowers. But man, I love seeing beautiful flowers and shit. I'm not finna start worshiping the shit. You like, where's your mind going? Like you wandering off. Like, where the fuck you at? Like, what are you doing in your day, man? Like, come on, man. This shit crazy, man. Okay. So let me see. So prior to these people coming in, you find no deities, you find no statues, you find nothing. When these people come in, you start finding Venus and all these worships and these different type of things that was going on right here. So let's look at the Garden of Eden, right? In Revelations, it speaks of an old serpent from the foundations of the earth, and how the tree was in the midst. That tree that was in the midst was evil. Now, this is the same story as Enki's story in Gilgamesh. So you're going to tell me that these are the same stories talking about some wicked ass people up in the forest. Oh, lo and behold, the cedar forest, Syria. Wait a minute. Gilgamesh. Most scholars would say that when Gilgamesh and Gilgamesh and Eridu or Enki went to go fight the beast, went all up in the garden, the Garden of Eden story, and went to fight the beast and all of that stuff, that they were in the cedar forest. That's Syria, nigga. This is the same place, nigga, where Yam live. Hey, man, it's something about right there. The Kabarian culture, they were in Syria too. These were the first sheep herders from a culture before them and a culture before them. God damn it, I'm gonna show you these concepts, right? Let me see. So we have a pattern migration called the Neolithic Pottery Age that shows footsteps from people living before the invaders came, which we would call them sheep herders, and then we see pottery B, which brung in the mother goddess and all that. We can clearly see this stuff. I'm drilling y'all right now, right? These people with ideologies from dealing with struggle. If we look back before the Ice Age, we see people living in the same places before the Natufians, eating sheep, called the Mediterranean type people, related to dark complected people. Through the God, yeah, man. Through the sheeps, nigga. I can take you on a crash course, bro. Dealing with goddamn sheep, nigga. Everything add up after that. Cause again, they digging up stoves. I don't fuck that DNA. I ain't with that DNA stuff. That shit is garbage, bro. Let me see. And then we have the domestication of pigs, which came from the Southeast Asia, right? And so that even lets you know that, again, like, these Mongolians, they weren't just confined to under Russia, between right there. Hindus wasn't just living right there and all that stuff, bro. They were everywhere, man. See, the first amalgamation started amongst colored people. That's how you got the different types of Grimaldi men's and all, and Movit Cave and all of these stuff, these different looking type of black people. Man, we been doing it to the Hindus, bro. Motherfucker been doing it to Mongolians, bro. You like, oh yeah, like nigga, your girl look good, your girl look good, your girl look good. See, the problem is when you look at them, when you look at some little dirty, stinking hair ass, dingy looking, she 20 but she look 40, type of women, and you want to sit here and say that our black men, nigga, was back there like, ooh, that shit look good, like I want that. Like we gonna amalgamate with these motherfuckers. They look bomb. Come on, man. Eating light, shitting on themselves. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. You would never get me to believe something like that, bro. Because the attraction that we have today is the same attraction they had back then. Bro, I don't give a fuck. Day one of human beings being on earth, bro. They was like, she bad and she ugly, nigga. Come on, man. Like these people try to make it seem like these people walk around dumb, like oh, anyone, like, nah, nigga. They thought the same way that we think to this day, bro. There's nothing new up under the sun, bro. Every thought that we think, they already thought it. Every feeling, emotion that we have, they had all that, man. That's why Hindus are Hindus to this day, because they still like the way they girls look. They would rather prefer one of their girls than to prefer some other type of race. Come on now. Okay, so the war god concept developed from not a people in a fruitful civilization, but a hostile environment. If there was abundant food where them people live, there would be no need to worship anything other than what the land provides. Right? So, like I said, they ain't never had no water god. The waters of Newt, that's a female. When you go over here, the water gods are men. So let me wrap this up, and I'm gonna leave it with this, and then we're gonna do the video where we're gonna actually go into the Baal cycle, right? So let's deal with the facts right now. In the Baal cycle, Baal kingdom is separated from Yam's kingdom. He subdues Yam, kills Yam in the north, builds his palace in the north. And what people don't understand, when you read the Baal cycle, Baal got mad at his daddy, and he got mad at Yam because Yam was supposed to be the next motherfucking king. See, Baal wasn't second in command. He took it. He killed his brother, and he took the throne from his brother. Yam is supposed to be the supreme deity. Yeah, oh my God, that shit is crazy, man. Yam is still alive, but where is he? Baal cycle doesn't say. And I'm just giving you this rundown right here to let you know that this wasn't no metaphysical thing going on. This was physical. This is a war on earth that was happening. Let me see. I'll tell you this story crazy as hell. Baal kills his brother Movet, who speaks on how Baal killed his brother Yam. More importantly, is Movet lives where Yam lived. The confusion comes from the fact that Baal became a water god later, not at the beginning. So he wasn't a storm god at the beginning, because storm is like lightning and water at the same time. Man, this shit is symbolic, bro. This is the story told from the ancestors, bro. They telling you a story. Now, I'm going to leave it with this right here. Monotheism, right? And I had that. Where that monotheism at? So, monotheism goes back to the creation of man. White theology has taught that it started in the late Bronze Age. This is what they got y'all thinking, man. The water god would have begun in the beginning. because they tell you how the earth was made and all that stuff. But 75% water, all that stuff right there. So the first God that would have been on earth would have been the giver of plants and life. It makes sense that a water God would be worshipped first. You walking, you're thirsty, sun beaming. Goddamn sun is hot, my nigga. We need some water. Ah, damn, this water sure is good. God damn it. Woo! Come on, it makes sense. Would be in the beginning. And so, why did the Africans migrate out of Africa again? Run that by me again. Why they left Africa? No water? Oh my God, man! You run this Bell story over, and then wrote the annals and spoke about how you took over a water civilization, a water god and his civilization. That's there it is. There it is. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah, so shit. I mean, you know, with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for watching and all that stuff, man. We just bringing it out, right? So until next time, we're gonna do part 2, and then we just gonna get up into this Bell cycle, and then we're gonna get the rest of the slides. See, these slides, I'm be showing you slides. Everything I've been talking about, I'm gonna show you the archaeological evidence, all that stuff. I'm gonna get the quotes from the historians and the archaeologists and the scholars and everything. You know how a nigga do with the slides, bro. So, you know, marinate for a minute on this right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back at y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, love, peace, and hair grease. Power.